Well, it's a one-woman show on a very interesting woman. Becoming Dr. Ruth is now taking the stage at Playhouse in the Park, and the show follows the life of famed sex therapist Dr. Ruth. For her radio show back in the 80s and 90s, you'll recall that. There's a whole lot more to her than that. And joining me this morning are Ann O'Sullivan, who plays Dr. Ruth, and director Stephen Nachamie, who actually met Dr. Ruth and directed the show, obviously, as well. Thank you both for coming in. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Dr. Ruth, you just say it, and automatically everyone who was watching out there got a picture in their head, a sound in their head in terms of the voice, and what this woman is all about. But it sounds like she is about a whole lot more than that. So let's just start right there, Ann.
Thank you. Well, she is. She's a life force. She's a force of nature. She's can't be stopped. She's 95 now, and she's still going on, even though she can't leave the house right now. She's doing shows from her apartment, and this show is it's about her epic life story. You know, everybody knows her as the host of these radio and TV programs.
Sure.
From the 80s and 90s, and but now she's the story is about this amazing life she led and her courage to go from country to country, from country to country to country, as she says. I've lived all my life going from country to country to country. So, but you know, she's yeah, and she's just a wonderful human being, and she's always seeking joy, and she's a life force. Let's see, what do you want to ask me?
Well, and she was a sniper. That was one of the things that just jumped off the page at me in terms of her back. Like Dr. Ruth, sniper, not necessarily things I would automatically put in the same sentence.
Right, well, and she wanted to defend the Jewish people in Israel during the war in 1947.
Just had no idea.
So she was an amazing sniper.
Mm-hmm.
She has amazing facilities. She has facility for language. She's learned 5 languages. She, you know, has had a facility as a sniper.
She
was really good at it.
Well, yeah. and Steve, you've met this life force. How would you describe her, and why did you want to direct this show?
Yeah, she knows my aunt, my cousin, all of that, so I knew her as the lady with the giggle. You know, my grandmother had a house in the lake she talks about in the show. She is a life force. She doesn't see things as obstacles in her life and sort of challenges, and she moves on. And she always says that a lesson learned with humor is a lesson remembered. So that's how she teaches not only, you know, her sex therapy, but that's how she also teaches Holocaust education and just sort of life lessons.
Yeah,
she comes on.
Does she have a fearlessness about her? I mean, her willingness to talk about things that are, oh gosh, taboo and all of that kind of. Fearlessness is sort of an idea that at least came to my mind when I think about not only the things that she's tackled on her 80s and 90s radio shows, but obviously in life she's had to be very fearless as well.
She's fearless. Her mind works very quick, so her mind sort of assesses situations. Like I said, it's not an obstacle, it's a challenge for her. Speaking with her now is sort of like getting a battery jump. She's got that energy.
I'd love it. And in her 90s has still got that energy. What's it like for you to maintain that kind of energy in a one-woman show out there in front of the crowd at Playhouse in the Park?
Well, I have a lot of energy too.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's good.
And you know, she has joie de vivre, and I would say I have it too, because I love life and I love the beauty of life. And but I find her story, first of all, it's a deep, deep honor to play her. And when I had lunch with her, when I first started out understudying her, and when I came in, she gave me an affectionate punch on the shoulder, and she said, "I love that Gentiles are playing me." You know, which was just like, that's another tribute to her openness, that she knows that, you know, I love telling her story. I always feel deeply, deeply privileged to tell her story because it's an inspiring story. We all have struggles in life, and she had unbelievable things, just, you know, unspeakable tragedies happen to her, and yet she just carried on and sought her education, even though everything seemed impossible, but she kept achieving scholarship after scholarship because of her smarts, and she's impulsive.
Yeah.
So she just took chances. She took risks. She's taking risks. It's very important in sex and in life.
So take a chance, go see the show. It's a Playhouse in the Park. How long does it run?
Runs till May 15th.
Till May 15th, so you got some time to do that. We'll get ticket information up at local12.com. Thank you both for coming in this morning. Really doing
It was a great pleasure. Thank you so much.
Break a leg. Break a leg. It is 9:27.